Good afternoon and welcome to the Fields, Southern Virginia University. This is Mike Harmon along with Coach Logan Davis today. Welcome, Logan.
Thanks, Mike. Looking forward to this game today between our Southern Virginia Knights and the Eagles of the University of Mary Washington.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game today. The Knights come in at 3-1, riding a 3-game winning streak. The Eagles come in at 5-0. This is the first Capital Athletic Conference contest for both teams, so it's a great way for them to try to get out of the blocks, and having their first Capital Conference contest at home is even better for the Knights, not having to go on the road.
I completely agree. I mean, getting this first conference game going, and coming out with a win is important for both programs. Those standings start coming out, the talk in the conference starts coming out. It's important to get this first one underway, and it looks like both the Knights and the Eagles are ready to go. Weather's nice. It's a bit brisk out this morning, but I feel like it's going to be a competitive game.
Well, we have the starting lineups. First for the Eagles, number 3, Kelsey Welsh. Number 4, Ashlyn Darcy. Number 9, Holly Hudson. Number 10, Mackenzie McGuire. Number 12, Sarah Hampton. Number 13, Sabrina Elliott. Number 23, Julia Albert. Number 26, Emily Mott. Number 27, Paige Thermal. Number 30, Mariah Bartlett. Number 34, Paige Childers. And number 35, Kristen Littlefield. And Logan, you have the starting lineups for our Knights.
That's right. The starting lineup for the Knights today. Number 2, Rainey Whitworth, one of the captains. Number 5, Faith Park. It's number 6, Michaela Knowles. Number 7, Claire Hodling. Number 8, Chloe Lewis. Number 11, Avery Bishop. Number 13, Ashley Algren. Number 14, Emily Lamb. Number 15, Megan Barfus. Number 17, Elizabeth Bonney. Number 23, Rachel Miller. And number 26, Leah Smith.
So we see Emily Lamb going up to the draw circle. Number 34. Oh, and they're going to start off with the ball in the stick of the Mary Washington Eagles to begin with. Already a penalty called on the Knights. And here we have a nice start. Well, we want to look at some of the players to focus on for the Eagles. Number 9, Holly Hodgson, and number 10, Mackenzie McGuire. They're their leading scorers. The Eagles are scoring about 17 points a game, and there's a shot in first by the Eagles. Referees will go over and check the stick. And it is a good goal.
Sorry, my goal confirmed 21 seconds into the game.
Yeah, that's not the way that the Knights wanted to start. So number 34, Paige Childers, has her first goal of the game. Again, not just a brisk one pass, one shot goal for the Eagles. Back into the draw circle, we have Lamb and Childers. And it's going to be important that the Knights are able to win the majority of these draws to get on the offensive end as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, Mike, and especially coming back after that quick goal, the Knights really got to mentally get focused. They can't be slow to get back into this game. They can't let their confidence start to wane. And
there's Rainey Whitworth, who's won the draw. Emily Lamb did a great job of getting it up in the air. Whitworth went over and took it right out of the air. And we see Whitworth, one of the stars of the team, so to speak, her, Zoe Bradshaw, and Claire Hotelin. And we see the Eagles on a great counterattack now. Slow the ball down. Knights set up in their defense. Man-to-man defense for the Knights today. Oh, a nice pass to the middle of the field by the Eagles. Didn't force the shot. The Eagles are just keeping the ball in the perimeter. And a nice skip shot by number 13. Nope, number 10. Mackenzie McGuire, again, one of their leading scorers. Again, the referees will check the stick. It's confirmed. And in a minute and 17 seconds, Logan, we're down 2-0.
Now, Coach Weber, she needs to start figuring out what they need to do to make some adjustments really quick here. They can't let this continue at this rate.
Well, and now the Knights are going to see what it's like to play in the Capital Athletic Conference. They've had some great games out of conference, but we're looking at one of the premier conferences in men and women's lacrosse in the Capital Athletic Conference. Draw again with Lamb and Childers. Ground ball picked up by the Eagles, as number 35, Littlefield, brings it into the offensive end. And she's showing some speed going down towards goal, and no one's checking her. Finally turns, and the Eagles get their offensive unit onto the field. Oh, nice deflection by the Knights. Not able to hang on to the ball.
Eagles recover the ball again. Knights trying to, in transition, trying to keep their defense going.
And, Logan, those 50-50 balls the Knights are going to have to come up with if they want any chance to even up the score.
Absolutely.
See the Eagles being very patient on offense now.
Loose ball. See who recovers here. Eagles recover again.
Number 13, Sabrina Elliott with the ground ball. Just an errant pass as we saw one of the Eagles cutting toward the goal. In goal for the Knights is Rachel Miller, and she's a soccer goalie. And there's another goal scored. Number 23, Julia Albert, and we'll see if it's going to get confirmed, and it is. And so now the Eagles go up 3-0 at the 27-17 mark in the first half.
Here we are, less than 3 minutes into the game. Knights are down 0-3.
Well, this is the first time the Knights have faced an offense this potent. Again, the Eagles come in 5-0. They've had a great preseason where they've played a lot of ODAC schools and have really taken it to them. They beat Washington and Lee 8-7. Washington Lee's ranked in the top 20. They beat Lynchburg 11-5. They beat Guilford 16-6, and then coming out of the USA South, they beat Meredith 21-11 last Wednesday. So again, the penalty on the Knights to begin at the draw. The Eagles will start off with the ball, and this is not the way that the Knights wanted this game to begin. We really haven't seen the Knights down on the offensive end yet, Logan.
Absolutely. I was just going to comment. I feel like we've been on the Knights been playing defense the entire game. We haven't really been on the Eagles' half of the court.
Rainey Whitworth was able to control one draw so far, lost the ball, and then the Eagles have maintained possession of the time. There we go, a loose ball scooped up by Emily Lamb, and she steps out of bounds.
She was really being the Eagles' defense was really on top of her there, driving her out of bounds.
There's the quick start again by the Eagles.
Shot that did not go in, went back out of bounds, back behind the goal.
Yep, we saw number 4, Ashlyn Darcy, backing up the play there. Oh, and they're saying that she wasn't there. It was the Knights that backed it up. Nice stick check by the Eagles. Ground ball. Can the Knights get possession?
Eagles recover.
And there'll be a contact foul on number 2, Rainey Whitworth. So the quick start by the Eagles. A lot of motion by the Eagles offense trying to spread the Knights defense out. Well, if you're the Knights defense, this is what you like to see. A lot of patience, not shooting the ball into the goal.
Absolutely. Rainey Whitworth covers on an errant shot. She's running down the field, making a lot of progress, showing a lot of speed. The Eagles' defense it collapses on her pretty strong as she crosses halfway mark of the field.
And a contact foul on the Eagles. Whitworth will start the ball off again. And the first time the Knights are in the offensive end for today. Another contact foul. And Whitworth is causing a lot of havoc so far in this one possession. She's
definitely showing that she's not afraid to be physical in this game, to drive the offense down to put them in a position, put her team in a position to score.
Well, we noticed that there's one person out there that is not out there that their absence is very conspicuous, is Zoe Bradshaw. We don't know if she's injured, or we'll have to check that out earlier on. Ground ball picked up by the Eagles. Ball stays with the Eagles as there's a crease violation by the Knights. And here's the counterattack by the Eagles. Nice crisp passing on the way down. Good cradle and dodge. And again, back into this methodical offense.
Ground ball. Recovered by the Eagles.
Ashlyn Darcy able to pick the ball up. Oh, and that was just way too easy. As we see number 9, Holly Hudson coming from the left to the right, received the pass right on the doorstep. Number 4.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Number 4.
That's right. That was a crisp pass from the outside. The Knights were playing some good zone defense, trying to keep the Eagles outside. The Eagles were able to make a quick cut inside, receive the pass just right where it needed to be, and flipped it in for a quick score.
Again, just a efficient offense that the Eagles are throwing at the Knights. Again, Rachel Miller in goal for the Knights now is usually the soccer goalie. She played in one game, had a lacerated kidney, was out for the rest of the season. Back into lacrosse now, trying to get some physical stamina back.
I know that was a big loss for the women's soccer team this fall.
It was huge, and they just really never recovered as it threw so many people out of position. The Knights did a valiant job and a lot of effort by a lot of people trying to cover up that. But, you know, if you had Rachel, there's the thought that they would have made it to the Capital Athletic Conference tournament.
Absolutely. Eagles on the attack again. Knights trying to get back, get their defense going.
And we've been saying that way too much right now. Eagles on the attack, Knights trying to get back and play defense.
Pass attempt inside, deflected.
Oh, a nice job by Darcy. Able to keep the ball in bounds. And another goal. We'll see if it's a good goal. And the goal is not allowed. An illegal stick. And it always makes me wonder, they go through a 10-minute stick check before the game. How can the stick be illegal 7 minutes into the game?
Something I'm definitely not sure about. I saw them all lined up, getting their sticks checked before the game. You know, checking the length, checking the netting, checking everything to make sure it was in regulations. And like I said, I don't know, 7 minutes into the game, but Knights get off with get a little bit of luck on their side. Hopefully, they can get their momentum going as well.
So Emily Mott has her stick taken away, has to come up with a new stick, and the ball will go over to the Knights on the start of the possession. Lamb with the ball to begin it, and this is going to be great for the Knights now. This is a momentum changer, hopefully, for them. get into the offensive end, and let's see if they can't get something going into the net.
Absolutely. Often that first goal is going to just open the floodgates, get your confidence back up, get the momentum going your direction. Looks like the Eagles' defense collapsing really quickly on whoever has the ball.
Well, and they're all over Rainey. Rainey is the leading goal scorer for the Knights, just the leader, period. And without Zoe Bradshaw out there, it's going to come down to her and also to Claire Hotainlin to really shoulder the load. Errant pass. Going to go over to the Eagles. And again, it looks like the Knights may be trying to play just a little bit too fast on the offensive end. They might want to take a cue from the Eagles and slow it down some.
It's true, but it's hard to slow down when you feel behind. You feel a little bit of urgency going on, and but agreed, making some good passes and splitting up the field, opening up the fields, the line so they can get some passes.
Oh, a long pass downfield, a 2-on-2 situation.
Luckily, a drop ball can give the Knights a chance to get back in there, get their defense going.
Oh, that was a very fortunate turn of events for the Knights to see the ball drop out of the stick there. Again, here's some of the patience that the Eagles show, and they've run a little bit of a weave up top, a little screen and roll.
Ooh, drop ball, Knights recover.
And number 17, Elizabeth Bonney, able to pick up that ground ball. Again, stick check going on. Ball on the ground, and we're going to have a contact foul on the Knights. And a quick restart by the Eagles.
Looks like the Knights weren't quite ready for that restart.
One of the new rules this year that put into effect that in some of these contact fouls, they don't have to wait for the whistle to begin. They just have to have the people put into place, and the Eagles can start whenever they want to. A lot of teams are having trouble adjusting to that.
It's like the officials trying to get everybody in position for this restart.
And the Knights need to be aware. It looks like number 34, Childers, may be looking to pass over to the right-hand side. Brings it back to the left that time as the Knights were able to cover up that cutter going to the goal. Nice stick check by number 6, Knowles. If she didn't get her stick in there, there's again a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Again, trying to put people in place now. Ball's with the Knights. Ball on the ground.
Looks like it's recovered by the Eagles, but there was
maybe offsides.
okay.
I believe that's what it was. Is number 35 of the Eagles, Littlefield, came offsides to pick the ball up. So the Knights will begin.
Another good break for the Knights. Hopefully keep this offense going, keep their momentum going downfield.
That could be another contact foul. And like you said, Logan, these Eagles are just swarming to the ball, doing everything they can to get it out of the stick and force any type of turnover.
Mm-hmm. Ball's on the ground. Eagles recover.
Knights will start with Ashley Allgreen. Oh, and a huge foul. You know, and this is supposed to be a non-contact sport. There was a lot of contact there.
Well, with only 3 officials on the field, I feel like there's probably a lot of contact they're missing.
So Bartlett now, number 30 of the Eagles, will be out for 2 minutes for that cross check. A major penalty. The Knights are up a man. Let's see if they can take advantage now. And that 2-minute penalty is the biggest penalty that you can get in women's lacrosse.
Well, hopefully the Knights use this opportunity to their advantage. They're in scoring position, but the Eagles have the ball.
Looks like she was ridden out of bounds. The Eagles were ridden out of bounds, so the ball go back over to the Knights now. Yeah,
Ball
the Knights.
Out of bounds again.
Yeah, the Knights need to get the ball off the sidelines, reverse the field.
Absolutely, especially the way that the Eagles are playing defense today. The pressure that they're putting on the person with the ball, not really giving them anywhere to go except for out of bounds.
Trying to back Whitworth up after that illegal contact. Whitworth is going to goal. Gets cut off by the Eagles. They double team her to cut her off. And so now we'll see how the Knights want to attack in this man-up situation. Whitworth trying to attack on her own, and we might have our first free position.
The Eagles are doing really well to collapse every time, collapse their defense every time we try to get inside.
Yeah, Rainey just outside the 8-meter mark. Oh, and she had someone cutting right to the goal, just missed her, as the Eagles are able to counterattack now. Oh, this is 3-on-2. The Knights are able to get back and collapse on defense. Great job of transition defense.
Some good pressure from number 8, Lewis there. Helped keep the Eagles outside.
Well, the first 3 minutes, the Knights got blitzed. After that, they've settled down defensively. Still haven't seen a lot of offensive fluidity yet, and we can really attribute that mostly to the Eagles' defense.
Absolutely. But it's good to see the Knights have kind of figured things out, gotten to a rhythm. Hopefully they can get into their offensive rhythm.
Stick check on Emily Lamb. Ground ball picked up by number 27 of the Eagles, Paige Thummel. So again, back to this methodical offense. Looks like the Eagles are just trying to kill some of the penalty time so they can get back to full strength.
It's not a bad strategy. They're able to keep the ball outside. The Knights aren't necessarily coming out to pressure them. They're just playing in their zone, trying to keep everybody outside. If you can run some clock time down, not put yourself in a bad position, it's a good strategy by the Eagles.
Again, we saw a charge inside. Oh, and there's the Knights getting lost on defense just for a second as we see one of the Eagles dodge in, find the ball right on the doorstep, and go for attempted goal. Again, now the referees will check to confirm the goal.
It was a quick transition. She was able to get past the defenders, and had one of the Knight defenders pretty close in proximity to her, giving her a little pressure, but she was able to turn around and score that goal.
Hudson able to pick up that goal, and I think we have a timeout now by the Knights, and a good timeout. Don't want to get down any further. Get everybody back on the same page and hopefully start to right the ship a little bit.
Absolutely. There's been times where they've had some momentum going their way, and then every time you feel like the momentum's going out of your way, whatever you can do to break that up, to get back to your position, back to your mindset, you got to take those opportunities. And this is a good opportunity for Coach Weber to really get to her girls, kind of make some comments, and maybe give them some of that feedback that they really need on how they can work past this Eagle defense and hopefully get some scores later on this first half.
Well, we'll recap the scoring really fast here. Mary Washington has scored all 5 goals. First by Paige Childers at the 29:39 mark. The next one by Mackenzie McGuire at the 28:45 mark. The third by Julia Albert at the 27:17 mark. The fourth by Holly Hudson at the 23:34 mark. And then the fifth by Holly Hudson at the 14:56 mark. So Hudson, again, one of their leading scorers, is able to come up with 2 goals so far. The Knights got the ball into the offensive end a couple times. We just haven't been able to see them put a lot of things together. And again, without Bradshaw out there, and again, we don't know where she's at. It could be injury, but without her out there, there's only so many goal scorers that the Knights have, and they're really starting to collapse on Rainey Whitworth, who is the biggest threat.
Absolutely. Every time Whitworth has had the ball, she's just been double and tripled and a couple times quadruple teamed. I mean, she can't get down. She doesn't have clear passing lanes. And the Knights, her teammates really need to get out in there and give her some more options, give her some more outlets so they can spread this defense out a little bit and create some scoring opportunities.
On the background of the huddle, we saw Bradshaw warming up some, trying to do some stretches, see if we're going to come out. She takes a lot of abuse during the game. She hits the ground a lot as she tries to dodge through different defenses. So could be just an accumulation of a lot of different injuries. Claire Hotelin coming in for the draw, along with number 14, Allison Davis. So we want to mix it up a little bit at the draw circle now. Knights haven't done too bad of a job at the draw circle, just not able to keep the ball once they do win it.
Absolutely. They had those 2 penalties, which allowed the Eagles to start with the ball right away.
Yeah, draw controls are 3-3 so far. Just not able to do anything with those 3 draw controls that they've had.
Absolutely, and getting out of here quickly, getting control of the draw. Looks like another penalty on the Knights. And Eagles will start with the ball.
And again, these are things that we haven't seen in the earlier games. That 3-game winning streak that the Knights had, not seeing these type of penalties. Today, they're just all coming out, and looks like got a lot of people running in and out trying to get there. Here we come to the draw control now. Bradshaw's in, Hotelin in for the draw for the Knights, and Davis for the Eagles. Going to have an illegal contact on Bradshaw, and as soon as she gets in, make sure she gets into the book. Wants that, let everybody know that she's there.
Absolutely, a lot of people in there trying to vie for the ball.
Nice dodge.
Nice to get their defense back.
This is going to be something that the Knights are going to face the rest of the season, especially with the Capital Athletic Conference. There are so many young ladies on Salisbury and York and Mary Washington here that just are extremely fast, and I don't think they've seen that so far this season.
Right, the speed and athleticism, I mean, especially in the Capital Athletic Conferences. Again, we mentioned that before, one of the premier lacrosse conferences in the nation for Division III. You're going to see some very good teams here, and the speed and athleticism, the coaching, the technique that these girls have coming in is something that, again, the Knights maybe haven't seen, haven't been quite ready for coming into this game. But this is a young team. I feel like they have good coaching, good experience, some good experiences coming up. They should be able to make these adjustments and hopefully get through this first game, get their offense going, and hopefully make the adjustments they need to continue to be competitive.
And there's one of the young upcoming stars for the Knights, Leah Smith. You see her taking on 3 defenders at the same time, and just a powerful player. They have her playing back on defense to start off the game, but she's an offensive powerhouse coming out of high school.
Absolutely, she shows a lot of confidence, not fazed by the defenders. Looks like another contact foul on Whitworth. I mean, again,
this is a great position for Whitworth, a free position at the top of the circle. Oh, and
right off the top of the goal. It was a close shot for Whitworth. But good to see the Knights getting their opportunities and taking chances.
yeah, the pipes giveth and the pipes taketh away, and that time, unfortunately for Rainey, great shot just off the top of the pipes there.
Some good passing from the Knights. They're staying on the attack.
And, and it's like, as you're talking about some of the speed, you can see it on film, and your coach can tell you these three players are really fast, but until you see it in person, you have no idea.
Completely different in a competition experience.
And Bradshaw, off a free position, able to dodge in and get the ball into the goal. We'll see if they're going to be confirmed for a goal for the Knights. But what a way to make an impact. Come into the game and then 2 minutes later get the goal.
Absolutely. Goal confirmed. One for the Knights. Looks like Coach Weber's choice to take the timeout there has really worked out. They've kind of gotten their positioning on the field worked out. Some players in the right spots, and hopefully they can get this offense humming. That was a really good situation for the Knights. Kept it down, kept the pressure on, passed it around, kept the ball outside until they had the opportunity to score.
Well, again, it all started, I think, with Leah Smith being able to take the ball from one end of the field all the way to the other to set the Knights up. Back to draw is Hote Lynn and Davis. The Knights have cut into the lead now and trail 1-5. Draw remains with the Eagles now.
Much better defense by the Knights there in transition. They're really putting a lot more pressure on the ball.
And the Knights need to make sure that they talk and mark at the same time. You don't want to leave anybody open. And there's a hard cut to the middle of the field. Miller able to squash the attempt.
Good defense there. Being able to react quickly, stop the ball. Knights look like they're playing a lot more pressure defense. They pick up the pace here.
Bradshaw's able to pick the ball up out of the goal crease. Start to attack. Got our first contact foul. And let's see if the Knights can capitalize on this turnover by the Eagles. Oh, and
Rainey Whitworth looks like she's open, running to the goal. She'll slow up, try to find an open teammate.
Here she comes across the middle of the field. See if she can turn back to her right. Bradshaw with a nice dodge, and there's going to be a contact foul.
Knights playing with a little more aggression, a little more intensity right here. It's been really good to see.
Whitworth gets stick checked. See what the call is. Where is it going to remain? Oh, and they're going to give Bradshaw free position shot up top.
Good opportunity for the Knights right here.
Up, and now the referees are going to have a conversation. Oh, and this is an open goal. She was tripped going into the goal crease. And there's Bradshaw's second goal. Just a fabulous infusion of energy.
Absolutely. This is exactly what the Knights needed at this point. Been able to score really quickly. Kept the Eagles from keeping the pressure down on the Knights down by the Knights goal. It's good to see Bradshaw come in. It's good to see the Knights really being on the attack. If they can keep this momentum going, look like we're going to make a game out of this.
As long as you can make the Eagles pay for any type of turnover they have on the offensive end, you can slowly creep back into your game, and you still have 10 minutes and 48 seconds left in this first half. not out of the realm of coming back, tying it up, maybe even taking the lead going into halftime. And what kind of confidence would that give the Knights if they can tie it up or take the lead going into halftime?
Looks like Emily Lamb's back here in the face-off.
Davis for the Eagles. And the Eagles win the draw. Errant pass, but picked up nicely by the Eagles. And Leah Smith with a nice stick check, able to cause the turnover. Oh, but right back to the Eagles. Number 26 takes the shot.
Looks like it goes out of bounds. We'll see who recovers it.
Mott took the shot. Looks like number 15, Dylan, was there to back it up. And you see the Eagles running a nice little screen and triple roll to the goal. Looks like we're going to have a contact foul. And a free position shot for the Eagles, number 20. That'll be Nikki Lind. And Miller's going to be one-on-one now with Lind. Oh, and Lind, nice bounce shot into the goal. And just like that, the Eagles right the ship.
Absolutely. Big thing for the Knights. They got to come out right away, fire and get the ball down, get in scoring position.
Well, what we saw with the men's lacrosse team, just too many fouls that caused a man down situation. For the Knights, we're seeing on the women's side the free position shots.
Absolutely, a free position shot, giving up an opportunity for the other team to score. If you can avoid giving the other team advantage over you, you're gonna come out on top more often than not.
So now we're back to Lamb and Childers in the draw circle where we started at the very beginning of the game. And it's not unusual to see them change out people in the draw, just who's going to have the hot hand. Oh, and Bradshaw in there inadvertently able to break up the control. Unfortunately, the ground ball is picked up by the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles recovered. Looks like the Knights are at least able to get their defense down. Cut to the center of the field. Knights collapse their defense, keeping the Eagles out.
Another shot on goal. And we'll see if it's going to be confirmed. We already had one shot taken away because of an illegal stick. And Holly Hudson does get her third goal of the game. And we just saw two quick goals by Zoe Bradshaw. Now the Eagles come back to get their own two quick goals. And that's not what we wanted to see as Knight fans.
Absolutely. But it proves this is a momentum game. You know, when you're hot, you got to continue to play hot. And when things aren't going for you, you got to find a way to slow down the other team. Looks like the Knights put Claire out here, number 7. She'll be back in the face-off. She was in the face-off the last 2 times the Knights scored. So hopefully we can get back to this, get going again and score some more quick goals.
So it's Hotelin against Childers. Oh, and it looks like Childers may have started too early. So the Knights will have the draw control.
Absolutely. Penalties playing into this game, playing a huge role in this game right now.
And Claire able to clear the ball way into the offensive end.
Eagles scrambling a little bit to get their defense back.
Well, and we've seen that ever since Bradshaw came to the game, the Eagles hasn't been able to double team as much as they did before.
Absolutely. It's definitely opened up some opportunities. Pass to Rainey.
Nice back cut by Whitworth. But there's, again, the Eagles playing a backer defense. As we'll see two come out on the ball anytime the ball is toward the middle of the field. Ground ball, and the Eagles recover. Quick counterattack.
Absolutely. Nice, really trying to hustle to get their defense back.
Well, and one thing we see about the Eagles, they really don't force anything that's not there. A very seasoned and veteran team, and they have to be. If they want to try to compete for a conference championship, again, Salisbury, Frostburg, and York, cream of the crop.
Absolutely. That Pennsylvania, Maryland area breeds lacrosse players.
And a great stop by Rachel Miller. She gets another save. Tries to clear it. Ball on the ground. And Leah Smith able to scoop it up. See if she got fouled before she stepped out of bounds. And yes, they say she got pushed out of bounds. So again, let's see if Leah can start something good for the Knights. Hotelin.
They've never suffered from the Knights. She's pressuring in.
And if she's fouled in the, and she was in the arcs, see if she can get a free position shot. Not going to be a great angle for Claire. Claire passes it back out to Whitworth. Whitworth one-on-one in the middle of the field. Oh, and a stick check. We're going to have a foul on the Eagles. May have been a stick too close to the head, and this is a better angle now, and Whitworth will have a free position shot.
Absolutely, much better angle here.
Oh, and just misses wide left, but we see Claire there backing it up, so the possession will stay with the Knights.
Absolutely, that was a good attempt by Whitworth. Just a little to the left. Tried to look like she went for a bounce pass, trying to get it in, or a bounce shot.
Oh, and we saw Claire trying to find one of her teammates right there on the doorstep, number 15, Megan Barfus. And if they could have connected there, it could have been a great opportunity for goal.
Absolutely. It looks like the Knights are working together a lot better right now than they were in the first couple minutes of the game. They've been on the attack.
Well, I think the speed of the Eagles caught them by surprise. Caught them a little bit shell-shocked, and now things have settled down some for them.
Absolutely. But we know scores can come quick in this game, and we got plenty of time left to play. Knights are keeping it within striking distance for sure.
Well, anytime you can keep and wide open shot off the pipe. And Rachel Miller fortunate to get that ball back to her as it went off the pipe.
Absolutely.
But there was a free Eagle running down the middle of the field. Looked like it was number 6 for the Eagles.
Number 32 for the Knights tries to clear the ball. It's picked up right away by the Eagles, and shot on goal looks like it was good. Yep, shot on goal, good for the Eagles. Takes them to a score of 8-2 for Mary Washington.
Well, again, we talked about the goalie, Rachel Miller. She's a soccer goalie. She's not used to using an implement in her hands. We saw a couple times when she was going to clear the ball, she just laid it down the crease and let one of her teammates come and pick it up. That might be a strategy they want to employ a little bit more until Rachel gets comfortable with a goalie stick in her hands.
Absolutely. I wonder if she might be a little bit better without the stick. Try to get the hand on the ball and stop it.
Hotelin and Childers back in the draw circle. And controlled by the Eagles.
Little errant pass.
Again, Leah Smith, and she is just a fantastic lacrosse athlete. Plays defense now. We know from high school she's a great offensive player. Contact foul. So Leah will retain the ball. Oh, and here's Bradshaw, and she will dodge through all kinds of traffic trying to get to the offensive end.
Absolutely. Won't stop till she hears the whistle. Just keep on pressing, looking for opportunities to get down the field and score some goals for the Knights here.
Yeah, but if you're getting double and triple team, Logan, you've got to find the open teammates.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Looks like got to make sure as a teammate you're there ready for that pass, looking for great opportunities to be there when your teammate needs you. Knights coming back down, putting some good pressure on the Eagles here.
Well, at one point the stats were pretty even. Now the Eagles are starting to mount up all the impressive stats that have led to this 8-2 lead. The shots on goals, the Eagles are 10-2 with shots on goals. The draw controls 8-4, ground balls 15-4. So again, these are things that the Knights work on all the time and have had great success over the past 3 games. Unfortunately, and great save by Miller. Unfortunately, though, those other 3 games went against Mary Washington. Not that they were bad competition, but this is a step above. And like you said, when we get into the Capital Conference season, you have to step your game up tremendously. It's like Bradshaw lost control of the ball, and she lets the referees know her displeasure when things don't go the way she thinks they should be.
Yeah, if she didn't say anything, I'm sure that her body language was letting them know how she felt.
Well, as the Knights try to keep the Eagles under 10 in this first half, there's a few things that we've seen that they need to do just a little bit better. Control the ball on offense better. Their ground ball pickup needs to be a little bit more consistent. And defensively, you cannot let Mary Washington curl to the middle so many times. We've seen 1, 2, 3 curlers coming in. The Eagles hit one of those curlers, and they are right there on the doorstep, giving Rachel Miller really no time to react.
Absolutely. And on offense, you really got to get down there, have multiple Knights down in scoring position, not just letting one person try to take it all the way.
Well, Coach Davis is also our wrestling coach, and unlike in wrestling, there's no real control time that is monitored here. In wrestling, you have riding time, and if we had riding time, the Eagles would be way ahead.
Right, the time of possession for wrestling, it's important. It's important in every sport. Just being able to, the longer you have the ball in your possession, the longer you're in control of the game, the greater opportunities you have to score, and the fewer opportunities your opponents have to score. The Eagles have done really well to manage the ball today, getting down in a scoring position, and they just take their time, wait for their opportunities.
Oh, and just a great one-touch pass. We saw the ball going from our left to right, hits back behind the goal, and then up one-touch pass to number 10, Mackenzie McGuire, and there's not a lot that the Knights can do when the ball is moving that fast.
Absolutely. Comes down to just how quick can you react and take a guess on where the ball's going to be.
Well, with 2:22 left in the first half, the Knights find themselves down to the Mary Washington Eagles 2-9. Not out of the realm of possibilities to bring it back in, but the things that we talked about earlier, the Knights are going to have to do to win the game, they're really going to have to start concentrating on now, and we're going to see better execution.
Absolutely. he said, not outside the realm of possibility. We recover the ground ball, and Eagles recover. Eagles recover that face-off off the ground ball. 1-on-1 and another score for the Eagles.
And that's just playing statistics there. Anytime you get one-on-one with the goalkeeper, you're going to win the majority of the time. And we saw just a fantastic and fast offensive transition from defense to offense by the Eagles. And again, that's something that you can see on tape, but until you see it in person, you just don't know how fast they really are.
Well, absolutely, and obviously, they know this. The fans know this, that a pass ball is going faster than the defender can run, and you've got to be ready to crash that defense back down and to defend. You can't let that pass get behind you, really open you up and leave you defenseless, leave your goalkeeper alone in a one-on-one situation.
Back at the draw, Childers and Hotelin. And looks like the Knights control the draw with Whitworth.
Eagles back to double team and triple teaming her. Looks like it's one-on-one with Whitworth. She slows down, lets the rest of her teammates catch up, and try to set up an offensive play here. A little communication going back and forth. Eagles playing defense, keeping the Knights outside as much as possible.
Whitworth got the ball knocked out of her stick, tried to just poke it in as she came by, but the Eagles are able to pick up the ground ball. And here's the offensive transition that the Eagles have had just great amount of success with, because their passing is just almost pinpoint.
Absolutely. Looks like Bradshaw went down hard in the backfield. Haven't seen her re-enter. There she is coming in on the right. She's hurting a little bit.
Oh, and just another great pass from the left to the right. And Rachel Miller not able to slide over in time, as the Knights defense isn't able to get back in time to really give any type of opposition. So Mott, that's her second goal of the evening. And we talked about Mary Washington being one of the class programs of the Capital Athletic Conference in all sports. They were picked earlier to be tied for third with Christopher Newport in the preseason poll. And then we have York and Salisbury. And York and Salisbury were also picked in the top 15 in preseason for all of Division III women's lacrosse.
For the national rankings. That's, again, speaks to the depth of the conference. And the Knights, a young team, still a fairly new program, looking to compete with these much more established programs, storied programs.
Well, they're going to call a foul on Leah Smith, a contact foul. I don't think she really gave any kind of contact whatsoever, as we saw number 10, McGuire, stumble. So now we're going to have a free position shot just left of the top of the circle. Oh, and Miller not able to slide to her right fast enough to get her stick on the ball. And this has got to be very frustrating for Rachel Miller. She's used to a big ball coming at her and not this small ball coming at her with much more speed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks like the Knights tried to collapse their defense, tried to keep the Eagles out, but just those free positions.
Anything around the top of the circle for a free position shot, the goalkeeper really just has to guess.
Absolutely. It just makes it so, they're so close, the ball's going to go so fast. It's your best guess on what you're going to get. All right, in the face-offs for the night, Hoteling again she's been having a lot of success so far, getting the ball to go, and seemed like more often than not she's had the ball go in a position where the Knights can gain some control.
Oh, and just as you said, she gained control, gets fouled, and that's the end of the half.
At the end of the half, we have the Eagles of University of Mary Washington 12 and our Southern Virginia University Knights 2.
Well, stay with us as we go through halftime. We'll be back very soon. For Logan Davis, this is Mike Harmon at halftime, where the Eagles lead Southern Virginia 12-2. Well, this is Mike Harmon along with Logan Davis back at the fields at Southern Virginia University where the Knights trail the Mary Washington Eagles 2-12 coming into the second half. Logan, you have the stats in front of you. What are some things that jump out at you?
Well, I think some couple of things that jump out to me right away. Shots in the first half. Mary Washington had 18 shots compared to Southern Virginia's 4. Really just shows, the Knights have been playing defense pretty much too much in this game. And Mary Washington's been down there. They've been making attempts, and for 18 shots on goal with 12 goals, their consistency, their completion percentage is pretty high. One of the other stats that jumps out to me: ground balls. Again, Mary Washington's recovered 18 ground balls to the Knights 6. They're just in there being aggressive, getting the ball up off the ground more often than the Knights. A couple other things that stood out to me: clears by period. Mary Washington 6 for 6. Well, Knights are 3 for 8. Just not being able to get back in control of the game. And last one before we get going again. We're turnovers. Knights had 17 turnovers to the Eagles 10, which actually isn't that big of a difference. But just feel like the Eagles are scoring off those turnovers a lot quicker. Their completion percentage is a lot higher.
In for the draw will be Hotelin, and for the Eagles, we're trying to find the number. Just have her back turned toward us. Looks like it was number 14, Allison Davis. And the Knights are going to control. So Zoe Bradshaw leads the way with 2 goals for the Knights. For the Eagles, it's Mackenzie McGuire with 4, Holly Hudson with 3, Emily Mott with 2, Nikki Lind, Julia Albert, and Paige Childers each have a goal apiece. And this forebodes well for the Knights being able to get down into the offensive end this early in the second half. It took them, seems like, a year last.
Absolutely. The Eagles came out really hard in the first half of the game. It seemed like they were taking shots on goal. Forcing the Knights play defense the entire first half. It was great to see the Knights come out, be aggressive.
Looks like it was a great dodge by Zoe Bradshaw. She's going to get a free position shot near the top of the circle. And looks like it's going to be a foul on the Knights. Maybe someone got in just a little bit too early. And that great opportunity that the Knights had just gets taken away off of a foul.
Absolutely. Fouls are playing a huge role in this game.
And let's see if the Knights made any adjustments to try to counterattack the Eagles' counterattack.
Absolutely.
There's number 20. Nikki Lynn takes the ball all the way from the midway point into the offensive end for the Eagles.
Knights have their defense down in position. See if they can keep the Eagles out of scoring position. So now they can keep them outside, make them take any long shots or make those passes to try and get inside. Not allow them to get inside and score from a really short distance.
Oh, and great job again. Looks like it was Whitworth right in there, able to knock the ball away as we saw one of the Eagles right in front of the goal.
Absolutely. I mean, the Knights really got some players and some sticks right there on the way, able to recover the ball.
Leah Smith able to control. Plays it back to Bradshaw.
Plays it to Whitworth in the center.
And this is what you want to see if you're a Knights fan. Whitworth running with the ball down the middle of the field. No one's stepping up to stop her yet. And there we'll have our stick check. Illegal contact. Whitworth will have a free position shot.
Well, if you're in a one-on-one situation, or you have, they're in that position where Whitworth was.
And Whitworth scores.
Fantastic opportunity right there. Whitworth scoring off that free position. There we go. That's exactly what we want to see the Knights start this second half, being on the attack. Whitworth showing a lot of speed, being able to come down. So the Eagles, taking a foul, causing some contact there, hoping to stop the momentum. doesn't really work in their favor, and Whitworth scores off that free position.
Yeah, we saw as Whitworth was coming down the field, no one was really stepping up to take her. Fanning out to the wings, able to get that free position shot. And if you give Rainey a free position shot, there is no angle that she does not like.
Absolutely. She loves to take those shots and be aggressive. She wants to have the ball in her hand. She's definitely a leader on this team. Here we go. Whitworth back with the ball, showing a lot of speed coming in.
Oh, this might be a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Oh, just angled off by number 2 for the Eagles. That would be Hannah Ashby. Oh, sorry, number 8, Katie Rochborg. Bradshaw trying to dodge through the middle.
Over the top. It's good to see the Knights taking more shots on goal, coming out and being aggressive.
Well, it's almost a reversal of fortune from the first half. We saw the Eagles come out and really take it to the Knights. Now the Knights come back out. The Eagles caught a little bit back on their heels.
Absolutely, and it's good to see. It's good to see that the Knights made the adjustment. Didn't come out of halftime flat. Just really got fired up. I hope. I'm sure Coach Weber really gave them a pep talk, got them fired up and ready to come out.
Well, again, the Knights have nothing to lose. They've already won 3 times the games, as we see Bradshaw with a nice high shot.
Absolutely, that was great to see Bradshaw come through the center, and kind of make that pass over to her left as she cut through.
So the Knights trying to dig into that deficit as a new goalkeeper in for Mary Washington, Hannah Ashby, freshman from Burke, Virginia, has seen 2 balls slip past her.
Absolutely.
Well, again, Coach Weber can remind her players, listen, we've won 3 times the games that we've won in our time that we've been here. We're picked to be last in the Capital Athletic Conference. The pressure isn't on us. We just get to go play. So go out there and play. Obviously, the Eagles picked to be tied for 3rd. They have a lot of pressure on them to perform.
That's true. The Knights coming in on that 3-game win streak. You said when you're playing, you don't have the pressure on you that some of the other teams do. You can just go out there, work with your teammates, enjoy what you're doing. So the Knights cover this ball. Hopefully they can get it back down the field, get in a scoring position.
Miller plays it out to Smith, and we've seen Smith be able to just dodge her way all the way down the field. Stick check by the Eagles.
Ground ball recovered by the Eagles.
And there's a quick start again by the Eagles. Caught the Knights unaware. Plays it off of the pipes as Miller was there. And Miller recovers. See if the Knights can clear.
To Whitworth.
That's a great choice. Clear it to Rainey.
Absolutely. She's ready to come right down the middle of the field. Shows a lot of speed. She got some teammates down there. Hopefully they can help spread things out. She can get in, make that shot. Looks like she was angled off. Back behind the goal.
And as Coach Weber is able to go out and get more recruits coming in, would like to see more people with Rainey's speed, because as we saw, Rainey was running past some of her teammates, and we want to see those wings being able to be filled by the Knights.
Yeah, the first half the Eagles really showed a lot of speed, but as this game progresses, that immediate speed kind of drifts away to your overall endurance. Being able to keep that speed up over the entire game is going to make a huge difference.
Shot knocked away, and the Knights are temporarily able to come up with the ground ball. Still being fought for, and finally controlled by the Eagles. Looks like we want to have another free position shot for the Eagles. Not the greatest angle, which is going to help out Miller. Oh, and another. Did someone start early? And that's what the referee's saying, that the Knights started early. So another chance. And Lynn is able that time to get it past Miller. And
Yeah, able to go low with that bounce shot, bounce it right into the goal. Hopefully this isn't a momentum killer for the Knights. They can come right back to it. They've been having really good pressure coming out in the second half, being aggressive. So it'd be good to see if they can rebound from this, not let it phase them, not let it slow down their momentum.
Well, and there again, you see a penalty come back to haunt you. The first shot goes wide, but because of the early start by the Knights, the Eagles are able to get another chance at it, and Lynn makes them pay. So there we see Davis for the Eagles and Hotelin in for the Knights on the draw. And looks like it's going to be the Eagles will get possession as the ball went out of bounds off of Bradshaw.
Bradshaw giving a really good effort to try to recover that ball. Just couldn't save it on the inside. Well, it looks like the Knights actually will have the ball coming in.
Excellent.
It's a good break for the Knights right here. Pass attempt to Whitworth in the center. Gets loose. Eagles recover, and they're back on the attack right here.
One of those turnovers. Oh, and just again, we see them take the ball back towards the back of the goal, and a cutter coming into the front of the goal, able to find them.
A lot of blue jerseys inside there, making it hard. The Knights got to get back there quicker. Got to spread that offense out. Got to, get their defenders in position.
That's the third for Lynn, and again the Knights a little bit confused on defense, not really spreading out and marking men as they come in. Too many people going towards the ball. And some other action today, the Knights baseball teams down at Averett, and at the end of the first game, Averett was able to pull out the win 2-0. The Knights have a doubleheader there, so we'll try to keep you updated on what's happening next.
From the draw, several stick checks, some loose balls, and looks like the Eagles recover.
Gonna have a foul and another free position shot from almost the top of the circle. Bad position for the Knights.
Goes low with another bounce shot, gets in. Eagles have really been working that bounce shot today. It's been working for them, going low, making it hard for the defender, for the goalie to be able to keep that out.
Well, we talked to Coach Lamb. He was a former goalie and has said that that's the hardest shot to defend. But it's also the hardest shot to control. So the goalies start with their stick up high. There's just no real way to get it down fast enough to stop anybody with any type of pace on the ball.
Knights going for something a little different. Emily Lamb back in the draw here.
Draw is won by the Eagles.
Knights trying to put the pressure back on the Eagles, keep them outside. So quick passes there by the Eagles, and it looks like another score for the Eagles.
Again, the Knights defense just seems to be a little bit lost or a step behind right now for the Eagles are able to just outshine what the Knights are doing, and they're doing it by taking the ball back behind the goal, sending a cutter towards the goal, and the Knights are just getting caught ball watching instead of seeing ball and man.
Absolutely. I mean, being able to see that transition, and see they've been running this pretty similar plays over all game long. You really got to be able to pick up on those keys. Can't be watching the ball. We got to see where the positioning of the players are, and anticipate where they're going to be. Back to the draw. Knights need to get back in their offense. They came out really strong, scored quickly, and lost that momentum very suddenly.
Yeah, it didn't take long for the Eagles to wake up after halftime. The Knights able to score 2 quick goals. We thought that the momentum was going to change, and all of a sudden the Eagles have put the brakes on. But again, we have to go back to this is one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Capital Athletic Conference. And when you're talking about those top teams, you have to look at nationally ranked teams. Right now, there are 2 teams ranked in the top 15, I believe, for Division III lacrosse in the Capital Athletic Conference, Salisbury and York, and those 2 teams seem to try to bring out the best. Mary Washington is trying, along with Christopher Newport, to catch up to those 2 teams, and they are not far behind.
Absolutely, and if you want to make one of the biggest differences between top tier teams and kind of as you go down the tiers, it's not always they're not always doing different drills than you're doing in practice. They're not necessarily more talented or more base talent. It comes down to minimizing mistakes, not allowing fouls or misplays to really get in your way. And it's when you're in practice being efficient. When you're doing things at a higher tempo, they're doing. But I think that the Knights can really limit their mistakes, some of their errors, some of the issues they've had there, and causing some of the fouls that they could really move up in the Capital Athletic Conference.
Well, one of the other things that we have to look at is just numbers, pure numbers. When you look at Christopher Newport, you look at York, you look at Salisbury, you look at Mary Washington themselves, they can throw a lot of numbers at you. And unfortunately for the Knights women's lacrosse team, numbers are limited this year. Coach Weber's really working to try to increase those numbers. It's going to take a couple of years in order for the word to get out that, hey, this is a destination place for women's lacrosse. But this is something that she has to contend with as a coach every game.
It's true. You can see that some of the talented players that we have had in, Bradshaw, Whitworth, Smith, really coming in, showing that they can compete at this, it can compete with these teams. And as we start to bring in those numbers and the teammates, their teammates get more experience, moving up from a high school level to the collegiate level, you're going to start to see that gap narrowed. And it looks like the Eagles score again. Mike, did you see which player scored on that one?
Yeah, it was a quick pass from the right side all the way to the left. Looked like that'd be coming from number 6, Catherine Lambert. And like we said, just throwing a lot of numbers at you. Whitworth, Bradshaw, Hotelin, Smith, well, just about anybody on the Knights team having to play for a full hour, 2 30-minute halves. It can wear down on you, and we're starting to see that effect now. Oh, sorry, that was a number 11, Christian Kunisic that scored that goal.
All right, in the draw now for the Knights, Megan Barfus, number 15.
Someone started early. So the Knights will start off with the with a draw win.
Errant pass to Whitworth gets stolen by the Eagles. They're moving down. Knights rushing to get their defense back in position.
Had a foul on the Eagles, so the Knights will retain possession. There's Bradshaw. Picks it up out of the goal crease.
Putting some speed. She's coming down the field pretty quickly here.
Nice
Dodging
dodge.
defenders, absolutely. Moving forward.
Again, it'd be great to have 20, 30 young ladies out there on your team that you can send people in and out so you don't get some of your better players so tired.
Whitworth with the ball again, unable to get close and get a good shot. Two Eagle defenders blocking her out there.
Here comes the double team trying to get the ball out of Whitworth's hands. Able to go around both of them. And there we go again. Rainey Whitworth, no angle that she doesn't like to shoot at. Able to get around two defenders, find the angle for the goal.
Absolutely, another good score for Whitworth. You know, not fazed by the defenders from the Eagles on her, and just really willing to take it to the goal. You know, tells her teammates, give me the ball, let me be the person to make that attempt, make that score.
Well, it looked like she almost invited the defense to come and try to trap her, and she would just again put the team on her back and say, "I can take care of this. You be ready for if I need to pass it off." So again, great show of life for the Knights with 12:46 left to go in the half. If the Knights can control this draw, again, great momentum starter. But it's controlled by the Eagles. Ground ball, if the Knights can control it. Just out of the reach of Bradshaw. So see if the Knights defense can stiffen up here. Make a stand and get back down to the offensive end. Maybe get another goal or two scored to help them propel themselves into their next game. Oh, and no shot. Fortunate for the Knights that that ball got past Miller, but unfortunate for the Knights, a free position shot.
True.
And that's number 4, able to skip it underneath the goal of the stick of Miller, Ashlyn Darcy. And it is a good goal. And the Eagles expand their lead 18-5.
We have just over 11 minutes left to play in the second half of this game. Looks like everybody's breathing a little hard. But 11 minutes left to play. Plenty of time left to score some goals. A lot of time left to compete.
Well, and that's the thing that Coach Weber really wants is her team to keep competing. Understanding that we might not be able to pull off a win here, but we can keep competing and we can execute and learn to execute against a very, very well-oiled machine team in the Eagles.
True. There's always opportunities to learn, get better, and I'm sure there's Coach Weber's going to find some good takeaways and some things to improve on. But defense has been their offense has been really aggressive in the second half of this game. They've been playing more up tempo since the first couple minutes of the game, and some positive things that Coach Weber can definitely take away from this game. Good defense by the Knights there, putting a lot of bodies in between the ball and the goal.
And they're doing a better job with the cutters coming through, seeing ball and man, and not just getting stuck watching the ball. And looks like we'll have another free position shot for the Eagles.
Good job by the Knights there to put a lot of bodies in there, in the pocket there.
And another free position shot.
These little mistakes by the Knights, mental lapses, some of these things are really hurting themselves on. It was good to see them keep for that free position shot from going in. See if they can defend again.
Oh, and second time's a charm, and we saw that earlier in the first half.
Absolutely. The more opportunities you give to, free opportunities you're giving to your opponent, the more chances they're going to score. Knights need to find a way to limit these mistakes, some of these little mental errors, and keep their momentum going their way. Timeout here. Hopefully, last time the Knights came out of a timeout, they scored 2 quick goals. Let's see if we can do it again.
Well, in some other action, the men's lacrosse team is down at Greensboro College, and with 10:13 left in the first quarter, the Knights lead 1-0.
Glad to see the Knights on top there. That's a pretty low-scoring game for the Knights so far. There's been it seems across a pretty high-scoring game to be that far in and to only have the one score total between the two teams. That's a lot of defense going on there.
Casey Rich was able to score it at the 12:58 mark in the first quarter. Again, the Knights looking to get their winning season on track. Talked to a lot of lacrosse guys, and they're really excited about this season. Have made great leaps and strides over the preseason from last year, and want to really get out and show that they are not to be picked last in the Capital Athletic Conference.
Absolutely. The men's lacrosse, they've made a ton of progress coming into this season. Their mental attitude is much higher than it has been in the past. They've had some close losses, some games that were in hand, and hopefully let's see them get out, get this win, and get the momentum going their way as they get set to enter their portion of their conference play.
Well, again, the 9:47 to go now at Greensboro. The Knights scored their second goal by Peyton Kimber, so they lead 2-0 in the first quarter. A lot of lacrosse left to play, 3 more quarters to go, but it's nice to see the Knights be able to get out to that lead.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if the Knights can get a quick start again out of this timeout. We saw the timeout in the first half. They scored 2 quick goals. At halftime, they scored 2 quick goals, and now coming out of this timeout, let's see if we can get our offense going.
And before we get to the draw, the Knights have scored again at Greensboro College, 3-0.
Glad to see the Knights. Scoring comes in bunches. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going.
Now at the draw, we see Lamb and Davis. Someone started early. Oh, and they're going to bring it back and redo the whole draw. Referee didn't like what she saw. Ground ball scooped up by the Eagles. And we're getting down to the time now where there's no shot clock in the women's game. We're getting down to the time now where we might see the Eagles start to elongate their possessions, knowing that they have the game in hand.
Absolutely. Being able to control the clock. We talked a little earlier about, time of possession, time and control of the game. And, if you can take away the time that your opponent has to score, just another good strategy by the Eagles. We saw this a little bit earlier in the first half. They were able to slow things down, pick their opportunities to score. Looks like they're definitely spreading things out right now.
Yeah, they're making the Knights come out and chase and play a full field. Again, not trying to put a full stall on, but these are things that they're working on, just like the Knights are going to try to work on some things to make themselves better. This is stuff that the Eagles are going to work on to help them become better as they get more into the Capital Athletic Conference play. One of
the rules as a wrestling coach, I love and I wish that they'd put into all sports is a stalling call. That when a player stops they're no longer attempting to score. They get warned for stalling, and if they get warned a second time, it's a point for the opposite team. Got the time going, you might as well be trying to improve, trying to score.
Well, and also other sports have that too. You got the shot clock in basketball, right? You got a play clock in football. But in lacrosse, on the men's side, you have a stall warning that can turn on the 30-second shot clock. By 2018, the women will have a 90-second possession clock. So we won't be able to see them be able to stand back and hold the ball like they are now. As soon as they get possession, they have 90 seconds to actually attack and get a shot onto goal.
Well, I would do a lot to really speed up the pace of the game. Really put your cardio endurance, your speed, and your ability to make quick transitions. Just put a lot more emphasis on that, and also avoid this. Now where you have players running around. In basketball at the end of a game when they're looking to make a foul so they can take some free throws and get possession back. That's when you have opportunities. Tempers flare. You have players that get flagrant or technical fouls. No reason for it to not just keep the game going and play like you normally would.
Well, and there we see a perfect example of that as Leah Smith was trying to check the ball out of the goalie's stick. Hannah Ashby got her stick up around the head just a little bit too close. The referee gave her a yellow card, so now the Knights man down. Ball's loose on the ground. Can the Knights get there to control? It looks like they're going to, but the Eagles really just able to control and use up so much clock. Again, the Knights need to work on some offensive execution. This is a great time to work on it. Game really not in the balance, but this is better practice than you can get in a practice setting.
Absolutely. Being able to play against a high-caliber team like this, take these opportunities, look to make, don't rush yourself, but look to make good plays. See their defense. It's only going to make you better when you go out to your next opponent.
Well, the next opponent for the ladies on the lacrosse team will be North Greenville College. They're taking a trip down to Greenville, South Carolina. Over spring break. Long trip. Hopefully they'll be able to find those winning ways again and take some of the lessons from this game and put them into really good effect coming up. Again, you can see the clock counting down. New rule in women's lacrosse, if you're down by 10 in the second half, the clock just keeps on rolling. Obviously that's to help out in some of the cases where the score may continue to just get too big.
Right.
We've looked at some mercy rules in some other sports. Softball has a 8-run mercy rule, and then we looked at baseball. There is none, and in lacrosse there is none. But one of the things they do is keep the clock running. I think in wrestling there's a mercy rule.
If you are down by 15 points, the match is over and you lose. But then again, you can get pinned at any time and have the match end at any point.
See Smith attacking. Oh, and that's going to be a foul. See where she's going to be on the. Oh, and out on a bad angle for a free shot or free position.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be better if she get a little bit better angle there. But she was on the attack, showing a lot of aggressiveness. Exactly what you like to see as a coach. You like to see out of your players.
And a smart play by Smith, not just taking the open shot, but trying to improve position, look for teammates. And that's really impressive to see that from such a young player. Smith is a freshman coming into Southern Virginia from Lehigh, Utah.
Bradshaw trying to get the ball up off the ground. She recovers. Around behind the back of the goal. Pass a little wide to the right.
Oh, and we got Bradshaw down on the ground and an Eagle down. Both of them able to make it back up. I think Bradshaw's worse for the wear.
Well, she's played all out since she got in the game. She's been, willing to take some physicalness from her opponents. Been running hard, not afraid to mix it up, and it's been good. It's been good to see.
And we did find out why Bradshaw wasn't here to begin with the game. She was at the RAM, the remote medical access clinic that's going on at Southern Virginia. People coming in from all states. It's free dental, vision, and medical care that is put on by doctors around the area that come in and do just a great service for those that may not have the greatest medical coverage in their lives.
Absolutely, there's a lot of people who rely on the remote area medical clinic to for wheelchairs, for their dental, for their eye care. And so people actually were lined up last night. The doors didn't open till about 7 this morning. Get started, but people were lined up at midnight last night to get in line and get in so they can get that treatment. That'll be running today and tomorrow in the Stoddard Center here at Southern Virginia University.
So if you're close to the area and you need some medical attention, come on in, get a number, and hopefully you can. The doctors will be around long enough to get to your number. 1:05 left to go in this game. The Knights have shown a lot of grit and determination, just don't have the numbers to really compete at the level that Mary Washington is, but we've seen them able to take a step up from where they were last year.
Absolutely, definitely taking a step up, and it's great for Coach Weber, to see the progress that she's making with her team. She's been able to really mold them, get their confidence up, and get the girls in where they need to be, getting them in the weight room, getting the team working together in the off season, doing those optional workouts, but really getting the buy-in that she's been looking for. And as they continue to progress, this team is gonna continue to get better. As we run down the clock, just over 10 seconds left in the game. We'll finish out with, it looks like the final score will be Mary Washington 19 and Southern Virginia 5. And that's the game.
Well, we've learned a lot about the Knights today. Came in with a 3-game winning streak. Were blitzed really from the beginning by the Eagles. The Knights really weren't able to catch up to their speed. Caught them unaware. Again, you can see that speed on film, but not until you're exposed to it, you really don't know what's going on. But what we didn't see from the Knights was any type of hanging their heads or giving up, and some real progress coming in from last year to this year.
Absolutely. I mean, positive all the way to the end. A lot of good attitudes. They've been working hard. Their intensity was up. But yeah, if they can pick up their own speed in transitions, find some teammates open right in front of the goal, and minimize a couple of their own fouls and errors, this night team is going to make a lot of progress.
Well, to recap the game summary, we had Zoe Bradshaw come in, score 3 goals for the Knights. Rainey Whitworth scores 2 for the Eagles. Mackenzie McGuire with 4, Holly Hudson with 3, Nikki Lind with 3, Ashley Darcy with 2, Emily Mott with 2, and Boyd Kunisic, Ryan, Albert, and Childers all with 1. So, again, the final score, Mary Washington Eagles 19, Southern Virginia University 5. Our next broadcast will be on Wednesday, men's lacrosse. So please join us then. For Logan Davis, this is Mike Harmon, thanking the production crew and thanking you for joining us. Until next time, have a good day.